I am coming live from the new uh, poker room slash hopefully maybe podcasting room. We're gonna see how this goes, and this football watching room, and it is it's surrounded by all this beautiful orange and brown, and I have your cups up on the walls.
Yeah, I saw the cups in the picture.
Oh yeah, buddy. Yeah, I put those up right away. As soon as I could get stuff hung. I got one more shadow box to hang for my Joe Thomas jersey. Then I'll be out of probably wall space for jerseys, and then a space for a television unit, and then we'll be rocking and rolling.
That's good.
It's gonna
I
be
still think black and yellow would look a lot better, but hey,
God.
whatever.
That's me. That's quite possibly the very worst idea you've ever had in your entire life.
Oh wait, I
Um,
got one later that you're not gonna like.
well, what is it? Just tell me now. Let's just get into it. Let's just
It's
dive right in.
it's a hot take. I want to save it. Gotta let the show build up and then throw it out there.
Well, I got an hour, so we'll see how it builds up. I'm gonna go play some poker at midnight, so or at 11. Um, I did since the last time I talked to you. The one thing you brought up that when we were texting, this Cosby thing, which I think is probably going to get me to be a hated man. But I actually think he's 100% legit. Should have been out and should never went to jail in the first place. Not because I don't think he did do all the stuff that he's accused of, but I mean he did. It sounds like he had a deal in place already. They
Well, yeah, we
tried.
didn't know that beforehand though.
What? Well, they knew it. They had to know it.
They did, yes.
Yeah. So how do you even bring charges if you know it? Like if you
Obviously,
know your office has that down, like I mean that's just shady business right there.
it is, but it's like because you got to think like that never came out. We didn't hear about that till just now when he got out because everyone's like, why is he getting out? So obviously, you don't want that to get out while you're trying to put him in jail. And so they did it because it's like it's one of those things where the more and more people came out, like you had to do something because it started turning into the whole why are they not doing anything? So with them only having the one person left that they could uh, charge him for, and of course that's the one person that they agreed they wouldn't charge him for, so they could get the testimony. You can't let that part out because you got to make it like you're doing something, whether or not like
But I guess
I don't know.
how does the district attorney even take that to court? Like to me, that just is a point out of how broken the system is.
Yeah, but it was the previous district attorney, so I don't
Yeah,
know
but
if the,
but still, the current district attorney had to know. There's no way
oh yeah,
something
he
like that just.
definitely knew.
That's
It's
what I'm
just I
saying. Like
don't.
that's bad. I guess that just tells me how bad the system's broken. If they know it and they're still trying to like shaft him.
I don't know. Well, I can't really say shaft him because I mean
It is. It is, Kevin. I don't like the rule. I
it
don't
is,
like
but
what they
with him
did.
shafting like 60 some women, I mean you got to try something.
100%. Yeah, but yes, but no. And
See,
this is
I
this.
think the big thing is that they obviously knew about it. The new DA did and everything. I just was thinking the way I look at it is I think they were probably like, I wonder if we could get around it. Because I mean, think about it. He's been in jail for almost 3 years. So you got around it for almost 3 years.
Yeah, I guess. I just so bad. It's so bad, and I think it goes like with just how I'm changing as I get older, and I start to think a lot about these things. It's just my overall belief that we should be imprisoning like 90% less people than we do. I think sending. I think it's such a quick fix for us just to send people to jail, and we think we're getting some kind of justice. And most of the time, I don't think people should go to jail for the crimes they commit. And then a lot of times, like these white collar crimes, what benefit does it give any of us? Like I don't do like Bernie's. I use him so often because I don't see what benefit the society got by putting him behind bars. Like even if you could like make that guy, even if he's making pizza for $10 an hour and you're taking 8 of it, like at least some kind of restitution is getting taken care of. But like putting him in jail, that just costs me money as a taxpayer. And if I'm one of the people that he broke, then not only did he take all my money, but now I'm paying for him to be in jail. Like it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. There's no value. And then to see things like the Kazi deals, which I think we agree that he's a dirty old man and he was probably a dirty young man, and
he was very bad. That's for sure.
Yeah, he was doing some bad stuff, but that doesn't mean like he doesn't have like rights. And the fact that they like tried to work around like him self-incriminating himself. Wow, that was sounding dumb. Just
that's what it was.
That's what I'm saying. They try to work around it. Like that's just dirty system. That's what the problem is. Unfortunately, like a guy like him, who is probably like super guilty, is now out of jail because they didn't like want to fight it or whatever. And I don't know. And then even like now he wants to go after her for some of the NDA money, which I actually, again, I think 100% I have to back him on this. Like, again, I'm probably getting canceled today, but you signed an NDA. Like,
did she? I didn't think she did.
Well, I believe she did, or maybe I read something. She did something where she got money, and I think it was because it was never supposed to come out. Maybe I'm pretty sure there was an NDA in there because it's hard to believe there's a settlement without an NDA.
There's a podcast. See, that's the thing. There's a podcast like Chasing Cosby or something like that. Came out like 2 years ago or something. And it was really interesting because it had a lot of the women on there talking about what happened. And she was on there, and I don't remember her saying anything about NDA. I know like he offered to pay, like he would pay, like offer, like, you know, it was kind of his way of saying he was sorry. And he would pay for their school or pay for certain things or stuff like that. But I don't ever remember them talking about an NDA. So I don't know, like, because it was always like the way they made it, they talked about it was always like his way of being like saying he was sorry, basically, but kind of getting around it. It seemed like, you know, where it'd just be like, here, if I do this for you, it wasn't so bad. I screwed up. But I don't remember.
I would be so surprised if there wasn't an NDA for that kind of thing, because there just almost always is. But either way, there was some funds transacted, and he feels like he should get some of them back. And if it was some kind of funds that were transferred and there was any kind of agreement, and I was looking into it, but I didn't because I had some problem moving into this new room here. I had a couple of technical difficulties, but yeah, either way, if there was something, I guess that's what I'm saying. If there was an NDA or something saying that it couldn't go public, then I think you guys have every right to get some of that cash back.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, that's part of the law too. Because I mean, that was like the whole big Trump Stormy Daniels situation.
Oh yeah, but then she ended up paying it all back, didn't she?
Yes, but did you hear like the funny stuff about all that?
I mean, it was all funny.
Oh yeah, I thought it was pretty entertaining too. But because the one show I listened to, they were talking about her lawyer that she had. Like, he was like the biggest scumbag of the world.
Her lawyer?
Her lawyer.
Because I know was it Avenatti or however you say his name.
Yes.
He's a piece of work himself.
He just got sentenced to how long? A year and a half in jail? 2 years in jail? Because he was trying to extort Nike. Trying to extort him for like $4 million. But then on top of that, it was funny because the news show I was listening to, they were on the Rogan. They used to be on the Hill, but they got their own.
Oh yeah,
the burning joint or burning something.
Oh, Breaking Points.
Yeah, there we go. I like listening to them, and they were talking about him and kind of making fun of him because they have like this clip that they put together of all like Bill Maher, all the CNN people, all the MSNBC, The View, and they're like, he's so great. He's Trump's worst nightmare, and like the one Joy Behar on The View was saying how like he was the savior of the world and he was going to run for president in 2020 or 2024 something like that, and like all this stuff, all these people saying how great he is. Well, here he got sentenced in jail for trying to extort Nike for like $4 million, and then he was stealing money from Stormy Daniels, and then there was also something where he represented oh, what the heck was it? A paraplegic? Paraplegic? No. It was something. I can't remember if it was a mentally retarded person or paraplegic. It was something like that. And he was like representing them, getting them to winning cases for him to get money and stealing all the money. Like he is like a huge, like most lawyers are slime balls. Well, he's like up there for the crap there.
Are you surprised? Because I mean, I never thought, even when he came out against Trump, I was never like, man, this guy is a hero. This guy.
Well, that was the funny thing because they were like all the clips that they were playing was all like the news people that were saying how like he was the hero, all this crap. Like it was pretty funny. I was just like, oh my gosh. It's like talking about stuff that didn't age well.
I know. I'm thinking about switching to like reading a paper every day or something because I can't. I'm telling you, man. Especially ever since like I found out everything. Like I don't really watch the news. I get clips off of MSN. I'll just kind of peruse that just to kind of see what the highlights of the day are. But I really can't get into it, and I don't know. It's so much bullshit back and forth. Like I wish I could find a legitimate news company that will just like the Newsroom. Man, I wish that show was real.
Yeah,
I got a news guy comes to town. He's figuring out like, oh shit, I need to have some morals and compass, and he saves the day.
Yeah, I want to start watching that series again. Rewatch it.
I know. It's funny you said that. I actually was going through the shows on that thing you told me about. Well, a different one, but similar. And I came across, and I was like, I need to watch that. It's only 3 seasons. Sacks. It should have been so many more.
Yeah.
That thing, I mean, it could still be rolling today. I think of like some of these stupid shows that have been on for like Survivor and what other ones that I just don't understand.
Bachelor.
A Bachelor or what's the House one?
Oh, Big Brother.
Big Brother, right? Like 40 fucking years or something. And I don't get it, Kevin. I don't get it how like those shows like people love, but I can't get me some freaking my mind just went blank. Oh, some Newsroom for like 5 or 6 seasons, right?
Yeah.
It's a sad day.
Like I read the paper every day when I go to work. I used to buy it Saturday and Sunday, but half time it's like by the time I get up to like and I get stuff, I'm going and doing stuff, and it's like I go to buy the paper. I'm like kind of pointless now. So usually the weekends I don't, but I read it every day at work on all my breaks. Because it used to just be I just buy it and read the sports. But now it's like I have time, so it's like I read the whole paper, and the more I read the rest of the paper, I'm like, oh, this world sucks. But
maybe I'm just wrong, but I just feel like local newspapers are the closest thing to like somewhat unbiased. I mean, I think they're always biased.
Still some, but it's not as bad because it's like for our paper, the Tribune, it's like if you read, there's some stories where they're like AP national news, and it's like you read that and then you read like a local article or something, and you can definitely tell the difference on how stuff is wrote, especially nowadays. But how you're talking about like finding a news to watch, I like Tucker Carlson. I don't mind watching him on occasion, but I know I take it with a grain of salt. He's more entertaining than anything for me. And it's the same thing. Like sometimes I'll watch.
Tucker Carlson? Are you serious? Come on, Kevin.
What?
Oh gosh.
What?
Did you just say you like Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, I didn't say that I believe everything he says.
I think he might be the most fake news guy that ever exists.
Oh no, they're all horrible. But here's the funny thing that I was like that show. What is it? Burning what?
Shit! Now you messed me up. It's Breaking Points.
Breaking Point.
You get burning.
I don't know why burning keeps popping my Breaking Point.
Maybe you're a fire starter, Kevin.
But they were talking the other week. There was a big thing I thought was really entertaining. Was Rachel Maddow was sued for something she said on her show, and MSNBC, like the basic during the court, they came out and said that her show is for entertainment, that it's not actually supposed to be giving you like information. So
Yeah, that's the
like,
bad thing.
yeah. So it came out, and they're all like that because then they were saying that I guess it happened to Tucker Carlson like a year ago, which I never heard anything about. But it's like I said, I knew. You can tell that by watching it because it's like it's their opinion. That's the whole thing. Like if you watch their normal like news hour, like it's still somewhat like it's biased, but it's like more of the news. But when you get into those their talk shows is basically all it is, and it's like they're just giving their straight up opinion, which is horrible majority of the time. But like I said, I like watching Tucker Carlson on occasion because I find them entertaining. But I'll sit there and the same thing. I'll watch Chris Cuomo on occasion. I'll watch Don Lemon, and those guys crack me up. Like they're like some of the dumbest people, like all of them. I'm not just saying like CNN and MSNBC.
Oh no, yeah,
like,
it's
the Fox guys. They're all dumb as hell, but it's entertaining to watch their things because it's like Don Lemon cracks me up because you know he's a fighter for the black people right now, and he says how horrible white people are. You do know he's married to a white guy, right? And he'll like bash white guys, white males, like the entire show, and then go home to his husband, and it's like, how does that work out?
Maybe his husband's just really light skinned, Kevin. I don't know.
Yeah, he's really light skinned because he's white as a fucking ghost.
Maybe he's the one good white guy in the world, Kevin. I don't know how it works. What else has been going on, buddy? It's been a while.
Not much because it's just like there's just so much crap going on, and I just sit there and I'm like, you know, it's like during COVID, you know, sports was shut down for a while, so I'm like, you know, the election was coming up, so I'm like, I'm gonna try to understand politics more. And the more I tried to understand it, the more I realized that I don't think anyone understands politics because I was like, it's just fucking ridiculous.
Well, there's just no common sense to it whatsoever.
No, and it's like I watched these briefings, and like when Trump would talk, it always just cracked me up because it's like you never know what he's gonna say, and you could always tell when he was on the teleprompter and when he was off the teleprompter. Like it was easy as hell to tell.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, when he's actually stating certain things and the way he delivered it, you're like, okay, he's reading off the paper. Then all of a sudden he would just be like, he'd do this weird pause and be like, and then it's like, oh, he's going off the prompter. And then he would just go on like a Trump rant. And it's like sometimes entertaining. Sometimes you're like, maybe you should have stayed on the paper. And it's like, then you watch Biden and it's just like, you sit there and you stare and you're like, how did he win? First off. And then second off, it's like, my always thing is like, does he know where he's at? That's what I always wonder. I feel bad for him because it's like, he'll just start talking and like he jumbles so much stuff together. And it's like, if it happened on occasion, all right, stuff happens. But like every time. And it's just like, how is this guy our president? Like, I can't figure it out. But it's like you go through, and that's the thing that I miss the most out of the Trump's like era is like the fact checkers, because they were there like right there. They'd be like, well, that's not completely true. You know, It's like they always have something. And it's like Biden's talking, and it's like, first off, after you get the interpreter, it's like, where's the fact checkers for him? Because it's like majority of stuff he says, you're like, I don't know all the laws, but I'm like, I know that's not even right. It's like,
I think we could agree that Biden's just out of it. Like, he's just a zombie.
Oh, yeah. But then, like, the stuff that cracks me up are, like, for one, like, I like watching, on occasion, I'll watch the clips of the White House press secretary giving her stuff. Now, Trump, the last one she had, that Kelly, or whatever her name was, she was good looking. And it's like, I liked her fiery attitude. This one, she's just annoying and hilarious at the same time, because it's like some of the stuff she said, like, it's the perfect mesh for Biden, because it's like he stumbles and bumbles through everything, and then she gets asked questions, and some of her answers are like the craziest stuff I've ever heard. And like, it's just like you just kind of look and you're like, I don't get it. And because like one is the other week they were talking about I don't know, somehow the fund of the police came up again or something. Okay. And she's like, well, the Republicans are the ones who wanted to fund the police. And even the reporter, I don't remember who he was, and he wasn't from, I don't think he was from Fox, and obviously he wasn't from CNN or MSNBC, but he was like some reporter that was there. And when she said that, you know, the Republicans were the one that wanted to fund the police, he sat there and he's like, all last summer, the Democrat governors and senators and people in the House were the ones coming out saying defund the police. And then so he's like, how do you say Republicans? And like they voted down some infrastructure bill, and she's like, she said how money was in there for the cops or something, but it was tied into something else. And she's like, so they're the ones who want to defund the police. And the guy's like, yeah, that's not really how that works. And she's like, well, actions speak louder than words. And it's like, yeah, I still don't think that's really a good definition, like explanation of trying to, take it away from the Democrats. It's like when they're tweeting and saying it in press conferences every day, we need to defund the police. And you got that AOC saying how you need to just close every jail system out there. It's like kind of like, yeah, I don't know how you can cover that up, but I was like, okay.
When I'm the president, we are going to close like a lot of jails. Like every private jail's getting closed, and I'm probably going to like hand out the most pardons ever. I mean, I'm just literally just going to boop, 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 boop. My little auto printer just boop, let him go, boop, let him go, let him go. Be like Elsa in Frozen. Let it go, let it go. Especially if they decriminalize. Here's the thing. What do you think about this? If they because there's this whole thing now, actually a bipartisan to take marijuana off the Schedule 1 list.
Yeah.
If they do that, don't you think they should release all the people who are in jail for marijuana?
As long as there isn't like it wasn't a part of a violent crime somehow, or however that works. Yes.
Sure. They just got picked up with a couple of pounds of weed.
Yeah.
Maybe they were going to sell it. Maybe they won't. Who knows? But instead of putting them in prison, maybe you just say, hey, time served, because what you'd really get now is a fine for selling without a license.
Yeah.
But if you take it off Schedule 1, man, opens all kinds of doors.
Speaking of weed, what do you think about the whole, I don't know if you heard, but did you hear like the U.S. got the one female track star that's like the fastest girl on the team or whatever, how she was obviously going to the Olympics, so she set a record, but then she failed a drug test.
Was it just weed?
Yes.
So here's what I think. I think Kim and I actually talked about this when it happened. I did hear about it. I think it's dumb, but I also think there are rules, and she knew the rules. She knew that particular substance was against the rules, so it's on her. I get why she did it. I understand, like, pain, whatever. I think it was for like pain management.
No, her excuse or her reasoning is that like her mom passed away or something, and she was
That's upset. Pain, emotional pain. That's pain. Okay. Pain management, whatever. However you want to do it, emotional stabilizer. However you want to say it. So I feel bad for her. I think that it's dumb that it's a rule. I think anything around marijuana, the fact that it's illegal, the more and more I look into it, it's a joke. So I feel bad, but again, it's like when you get anything, like you go into a sport, even if you go into like a rec league, they have rules, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you can't wear, whatever, these kind of cleats, or you have to, the rules, the expectations. We're all playing by the same guidelines. If you go outside those guidelines, then you're going to get hammered, and it's sorry for your luck. I don't think she should get to go to the Olympics. I think she violated a rule she knew about.
Yeah.
And whether I agree with it or not, I'm a rules guy. I'm pretty black and white. Either you like, it's like I tell, people about work, like how I am like working, like we're either doing the expectation or we're not. So for me, it's pretty clear she violated it.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason I brought that up. But first, I just wanted to say, I don't know. You do know, like, it's not the U.S. rule, right? It's the international.
It's still a rule.
I know. I'm just saying because, like, there's people, AOC, she's saying how it's racist or whatever.
It's not racist. But it's a rule that they all knew. I guarantee you that rule has been in there before.
It's been in there for a long time.
Started training to do whatever she's doing.
And the only reason I'm saying that, like, I just wanted to let you know, because I didn't know if you just thought it was like our rule or what it was, but it's the International Olympic Committee. And the reason why, like, it's such a big thing, like, yes, here we're starting to try to move away from weed not being that bad. A lot of states have whatever, but there's a lot of countries where, like, they look at it a lot worse than we do. So that's why it's like a big thing. Like, people, like, overskip that because they're always just like, oh well, here, blah blah blah, this and that. It's like, yes, I understand that, but this is like the International Rules Committee for the Olympics. This isn't just like the U.S. rules for the for the Olympics. This is like international. So it's like, even if we would make it where like federally weed wasn't a thing or whatever, unless they change it in like the Olympic rules, like you got to make sure that if you're Olympic pothead, you got to make sure that it's out of your system before you're getting tested for the Olympics, because it's like, it doesn't matter what our rules are, like it doesn't, our rules or laws don't oversee those rules for those games.
Yeah, no, like, yeah, for me it doesn't matter. Like, there are rules. It's in somebody's rule book, and if it's whoever's it is, they're just rules, man. I'm a rules guy. I don't always follow them, but I usually accept when I fail to follow them, I eat my punishment. And I just think more people need to do that. I think when you start turning into like a racist, that's just the problem anymore with this country, this world. I don't want to say this country, is we make everything out to be racist.
I know it doesn't have the same meaning it used to. It's like definition is yes, but it's like everything that anytime anything happens, that's the first thing anyone comes is like, oh, that's racist. It's like, that is it really?
Yeah. You know what's even more messed up is these women. Oh, let's get me in some more trouble. Is these trans athletes?
That's why I was bringing it up. I'm glad I was going to go there. So
I can't handle it, man, because you know how I am, man. I want everyone to live their best life, do what makes you happy, makes you feel good. If that's what you feel, I'll respect that. I'll call you whatever you want me to. I just think everyone should live their own life, no matter like what that is. I personally think the labels are dumb because I think labels in general promote segregation and separation and not unity, right? And not equality.
I can't believe you'd say such a thing.
But so I would get rid of all the labels. But that being said,
like, just go back to male and female.
I just get rid of the stupid. Where that's the thing you're making, like even like that, like it's. I don't care like what people want to call themselves, what they want to like. I just don't get it. Like, love who you're gonna love. That's all I care about. Like, I don't when you start saying anything, like you're creating segregation.
Yeah,
and I think that's the problem. I think it's always been the problem. And I understand we were raised with the whole male female thing.
I mean, that's how it is. I mean, that's
37 things going out there. But I just don't care. Like, I don't care what anybody's called. I don't know why any of us care. But
the reason I brought up the Olympic weed smoker is there's people are posting memes, and we know them, or person, whatever. We'll leave it at that. And it's funny because they've posted a meme where it sits there and it's like, how is it fair that she gets suspended and for weed, because it says it's whatever, unfair advantage.
I already know who posted this.
But
I'll bet by it.
But the weightlifter, the female weightlifter, that's a guy. Well, was a guy. That's the girl now. That she can perform in the Olympics, and it's like her testosterone or something, and how that's not a performance enhancing drug. And it cracks me up because I'm just like, you post that now because you're trying to, like, stand for the people. But 3 years ago, whenever North Carolina passed that law where whatever your born assigned sex was is what, like, bathroom you have to go into. Yeah, remember that whole thing? Mm-hmm. They're posting that, and it's like they were, of course, against it because it's like, if they say they're a girl, blah blah blah, they should be able to use the bathroom. This and that. It's like the reason why a guy that's a girl now can, and that's strong, like at 43, is stronger than most Olympic weightlifters in their 20s can perform, is because you and people like you were arguing for something as small as just the bathroom. But it's like, when you argue for that, you opened up the gate to all this crap. So it's like, you can't complain about it. If you're complaining about it now, you're either admitting that you're a hypocrite or you were wrong. So it's like, take your pick. Because it's like, you can't be upset about it when you were like protesting and burning bras for it a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think I know who posted that. I'm confident. And it's probably a good thing that person's probably not on my timeline because I probably would have said something. But
I've wanted to, but they won't respond because because she's posted like 5 things about it or something. In the last one, I sat there and it's like, it said something about like girl having a penis because I guess she blew out a testicle like 10 months ago or something. So, but she's still performing or gonna compete against the females. So obviously she still got her twig and berries.
Yeah,
but I can't remember what the meme was, but it said something about like something about having testicles or something, and I was like, hey, it's like that's a female penis. You leave it alone.
I think that shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh, had it now, lost it.
Sorry.
No, I think like Joe Rogan says it so perfectly. So I definitely recommend anyone go to YouTube and check his clip out. He's had so many conversations. He's pretty steadfast at like,
yeah,
there's a reason why like we have men's and women's sports. Like, I don't care what you've taken, or what you've done to alter it. Like genetically, like there's a difference. And we have like there's a reason for that, right? We don't have women playing the NFL right now. I mean, I guess they could, but like there's a reason we have like the NBA and the WNBA, right? Because I mean, constantly like they're just different. And I think that I don't know, I just don't think I don't think if you want to like live your life as a woman, great, but I don't think you should be allowed, like I don't think I should be able to say I identify as a woman now. And even if I take whatever to cut off the testosterone or however that works, I'm not going to pretend to even know. I definitely don't think I should be able to go play against, women in any sports.
Yeah,
like if
doesn't make any sense to me. He's a female to play in the WNBA. I mean,
he played till he's 50 and be the best player in the league.
Yeah, no one's going to stop him.
Yeah.
Hey, a good show to listen to. I found it and I listen to it on occasion. Depends who's on there. But Megyn Kelly has got a podcast, and she had a thing about the transgender thing. And she had I don't know if you remember, it was like last year, but it's still going on. There's 3 high school girls in Connecticut that were suing whatever the state or the schools because there was 2 boys that transitioned and they beat them and everything. So like the 3 girls, they were like the top 3 out of the top 4, top 5 or something in the state. Well, then after these 2 boys transitioned, but I guess from the way they explained it, they didn't do like a full transition. Like they weren't on like full test or estrogen or whatever.
Yep.
And so they were like smashing these girls in competition in track. And then
they're like breaking world records every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she has a show. It was like 2 months ago or a month ago, and it was about that, and it had 2 of the 3 girls from the lawsuit on talking about stuff, and it was interesting. But at the end of it, there was 2 doctors, and one of them was actually a trans girl, female, and she's like in her 50s or something. So like she's up on all that stuff because she went through it or whatever.
Yeah.
And the one thing that she said that cracked me up was they were talking about the weightlifter, and she sat there and they're like, the guy that was like against it doesn't think it's right that transition and play in the sport, female sports, was saying how like it's like she's gonna go to the Olympics and she's gonna probably win gold, blah blah blah. Gave the reasons and about how like testosterone, her testosterone levels still like 20 times higher than the females. Well, the trans doctor, whatever you want to call her, she sat there and was like, well, she's only ranked 6th in the world, so she might not even medal, blah, blah, blah. And he's going on this whole thing, and it's like, then you find out more about, like, the weightlifter. It's like, she's ranked 6th, but she's 43 years old. It's like the girls that are ranked higher than her are, like, mid to late 20s, early 30s. And it's like, so, like, there's no other girls, like, in their 40s that are ranked anywhere remotely that high. So it's just like that alone right there should let you know, like, obviously it's a disadvantage. She's so much older and she's still so much stronger than so many of those women.
Yeah, I'm so against this idea. I don't know.
Oh, I agree with you. But
Doesn't
if they'll
make
let me
any
bet on
sense.
it on FanDuel, I'll put money on her.
Did you bet on it? Are they letting you bet
They
on
didn't
that?
have it on there yet. They
Can
only
you
had
gamble in the
basketball.
Olympics?
Yeah,
Ohio needs to like change their gambling rules
they're supposed to be working on the bill.
because I hate that I have to drive across the Mexican, might as well, the Michigan state line. They're about as both they're both terrible, equally terrible. But yeah, I hate to have to go over like Indianapolis, which I get. It's only an hour drive.
Hey, I told
But
you, all you gotta do is send me your password and all that
yeah,
crap and what you want. I work over there 5 days a week.
now can you cash out? Can you cash out in Ohio, or do you have to wait till you get to work?
No, you can cash out in Ohio.
You just can't make it actual wager.
Yeah.
Oh man, this needs to happen, Kevin.
Oh, I agree with you.
I need to be debt free, so when I keel over, Kim doesn't have to stress about all that stuff.
How about I made a stupid bet the other week, and
what?
it was game 1 of the NBA championship, and I did the thing where it's like score 20 points, so many rebounds, whatever.
Gotcha.
Well, I had 4 of the guys. I picked 4. I can't remember what they were, but I had like 2 of the point ones, which I don't remember. But then I had like rebounds. I had like that Lopez and Jay Crowder both to have like 8+ rebounds. And I sat there and I was going through, and I'm driving home trying to do it before I got to the freaking state line. And something happened and it screwed up. And I went back in. I deleted one by accident, and I was like, I couldn't remember which one it was. And I just picked one and added. Well, the last one that I added, freaking, he didn't get the points that I needed, so I lost. And it was like $1 bet, but it would have won me a couple $100 because like the odds.
Oh yeah, those
so
parlays
crazy.
are nice.
Yeah,
Those
but the
parlays
thing
pay off
was,
pretty nice.
the one that I deleted, if I'd have just stuck with the 3 that it had after I deleted one by accident instead of trying to add one, I'd have won $60. And I'm like, that's how it always works for me, all the time.
Son of a bitch.
I was so pissed. I'm just like, are you serious?
Yeah, I don't think here's the thing. I don't know that I'd be gambling a lot, but it'd be nice again just to be able to put some action on some stuff once in a while.
Dude, it's gonna suck during football. I'm gonna have to like sit down, make a limit, and be like, this is all I got, and just put it in there. And then when it's gone, then I'm screwed.
Here's what you need to do, Kevin. By the way, so we do this. You should do this league with us this year. For like the last 4 or 5 years, I won last year. It's the only time I've ever won. We do the FanDuel season long league.
Yeah.
It's like I think what costs us. I can't remember if we do it for 70, 60, or 110. I think it's 110, or maybe we did less last year because of COVID. But I think it's 110 for the whole year. And it only pays out like say 15 if you win for the week. But then it's got like a nice like $300 or $400, whatever it is, payout. And depending on how many people we get in the league, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But usually it's like last year was only like 5 of us. 5 or 6. Not many because COVID and everyone was conserving.
Yeah.
But it is fun as hell, Kevin. Especially you get on our little chat string and we start talking shit to each other. Like every year I was like, oh, Kevin Tenney should be on this. Like this league, you would love it. And last year I won. I had the best week I had all year, the last week of the season, and I won the whole league by 3 points.
Wow.
Because it just tallies up your points every week.
Yeah.
And I needed like a huge week to win. I was in like 3rd place going into it. I was like, there's no way. Like, oh, it was fun. I just assume I'm going to lose all fantasy football leagues. You should think about it this year.
I would, but it's just I have so much money going in freaking fantasy.
I know. It's Dave's league, which I really want to get into someday before I croak. That's my goal. Missed that league.
Good luck. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Kevin, no, don't be negative. I will send him the money today.
Uh-huh.
I will PayPal him that, Venmo him that right this second.
He sent me a text the other week that when the draft is, like we're having it's in the beginning of September. People on my work, I have unfortunately still run that fantasy league, which I gotta get out of. I'm just tired of doing it and dealing with people. But
I just hate chasing money down.
That's my thing because it's like I set like a deadline, and and then no one follows it. Well, a handful of people do. But they're already bugging me. They're like, with that extra week, they're like, what are you gonna do? Add an extra game, blah blah blah. And I've been debating, and truthfully, I think I might just leave it the way it is because I have 14 games for our league, and then it's already because at the time, is it 14? I think it's 14. Whatever it is, it comes down to where the Super Bowl was always like the second to last week, and a lot of teams, certain if they have a big enough record, like they're resting people already, somewhat. So it already kind of screws up your thing. So I'm like, if I just leave it alone where I'm at, you shouldn't really run into that problem of having to worry about like any of your guys being sat that last week during the Super Bowl if you make it to the Super Bowl.
This is my year. I'm winning a couple more leagues this year. I'm feeling it. I'm just ready for football season, buddy. I can tell you that.
Oh, so am I.
It's about time. It should be training camp starting up this month. Here's shortly. Next week or so, right? Training camp starts because early August is the Hall of Fame game, right?
Huh?
Are you hearing something?
Yeah, it sounds like someone fell out of bed.
Oh, that would be good. Is there crying?
I don't hear it. No, I think Winnie's coming to say hi. She was so mad the other week. When you fell asleep.
Having the bonfire?
Yeah.
Oh my
she
God.
was like doing everything she could to stay up because she wanted to say hi. She kept sitting with me on the couch. I was like, just go to bed. And she's like, no, I got to say hi to Matt. And I'm like, okay. Then I was like, finally, I was just like, I don't think Matt's getting on, sweetie.
No, we passed that. We got a fire pit and we got some outdoor chairs. My mom came and spent a week with us.
I'm talking to Matt.
It was
say
awesome.
Hi? Yeah. Come say hi.
We've been sitting out back quite a bit, especially because our air conditioner's out. Oh no! What is up, Trouble? How are you doing, buddy? Well, you can't sit there and be quiet. This is action. You gotta have action nonstop. Let's sing something. What do you want to sing? Let it go. Let it go.
Talk a little louder so I can hear you. Why are you being all shy and goofy?
I know. What's up? When are you coming back down to have a barbecue? I got a flat top grill the other day. My mom got me.
Wait, stop.
Mama, let me have your phone because I started.
Well, why are you giving it to me? You're going back upstairs.
Phone?
Oh, you turned the flashlight on me. Okay. Are you gonna talk to Matt, or are you just gonna sit here and
Hi.
Hi, Winnie.
What you doing?
I'm living the dream. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Hey, ADD, over here. Talk to Matt. Talk to Matt.